There's no real way around it. This Red Sox series was rough, but it may have just woken this offense up. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. The Boston Red Sox are officially back under 500 on the year after losing 2 out of 3 games to the Colorado Rockies. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This may have been the most frustrating offensive series for the Red Sox that they have had all year. They were just simply missing that big hit. But with the way things ended with these last 2 games, I can't help but wonder, is this Red Sox offense coming back to life? So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break it all down. We're going to break down this latest Red Sox series, talk about the good, talk about the bad, and we're going to talk about how this series, even though they lost, may be the jumping point that this Red Sox offense needed. But before we get into that, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. I think it's only right in a video titled about the offense, talking about the offense, that we start with the offense in this series. And I think that of the offense, Justin Turner may be the star of the show here. He had 1 hit in every single game. He had an RBI in every single game. Again, he had another series where he only struck out 1 singular time. And over these offensive struggles for the Red Sox, Turner has really been one of the only constants on this team. And that continued in this series. Justin Turner is a professional hitter that gets the job done. And he has been really massive in the heart of this lineup. While Justin Turner was the most steady throughout the series, Rafael Devers definitely had the biggest game. He only played in 2 of the 3 games in this one. But in the second game of this series, he had another 2-run game, which is now his 3rd on the season. He was also robbed so many times in this series, and you can tell Rafael Devers is starting to lock it in at the plate, and that will be absolutely massive for this offense. That may be the most important key to this Red Sox offense, is getting Rafael Devers back to what we know Rafael Devers can hit like, and he looked like he was starting to do that in this series. Christian Arroyo had a home run in this series. He was also getting robbed throughout the entire series. It really feels like every outfielder, when they play the Boston Red Sox, turns into prime Willie Mays, at least in the last 2 series, right? So many balls that could have gotten down that just got robbed somehow. Christian Arroyo was feeling that all series long, but he was hitting the ball hard all series, which is a really great sign. Rob Refsnyder continues to just flat out bully left-handed pitching. The dude went 2 for 3 in the 3rd game with an RBI triple and a walk. Rob is very quickly becoming one of my favorite players on the Boston Red Sox. He knows his role, and he has absolutely perfected his role, and it is really impressive to watch. Dude is just the model of consistency in doing his job. Doogie had a really nice game to end this series, going 3 for 4 in the last game with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. I think Alex Verdugo, again, is a really big part of whether or not this offense can show signs of life again. So for him to finish out the series really strong is another great sign. Overall, throughout this series, like I said in the intro, this was a really frustrating series for the offense. They were getting on base and they were doing their jobs. The problem is there just weren't any big hits. Every time it felt like the Red Sox had an opportunity to capitalize, either you did not complete the job or you just simply got really unlucky, right? There were multiple times in this series where the Red Sox probably should have been ahead and probably should have won this game. They honestly probably could have swept the Colorado Rockies had they gotten that big hit. And that's the most frustrating part about the offense so far, is that they simply cannot get that big hit, which has been a bit of a pattern over the last couple of series. Now, why I'm titling this video is the Red Sox offense coming back to life is because they scored 6 runs in 2 of the 3 of these games. That has not happened. The Red Sox have not scored 4 or more runs back-to-back in games since the beginning of June in the Cincinnati Reds series. If the Red Sox offense can continue to score runs like this, eventually they're going to start winning a lot more games. And so for me, especially coming off of the win last night, there are signs of hope in this Red Sox offense. And again, like we talked about consistently on this channel, the 2023 Red Sox live or die by their offense. They live or die by those big hits. And if they could start rolling in, this team could be in a much better spot, especially if you can get guys like Verdugo and Devers back to hitting the way they were hitting at the beginning of the year. As for the starting pitching in this series, for the most part, it was pretty good. Game 1, you got James Paxton, who put on another masterclass. He went 6 innings, allowing just 4 hits and 1 earned run while striking out 8. He also hasn't given up a home run in 3 starts, and his season ERA is now down to just 3.09. This is just exactly what we needed from James Paxton. With Chris Sale going down, we needed guys to step up, and James Paxton has stepped up in a really big way for this Red Sox team. If you're curious about what I think about James Paxton beyond 2023, I do have a video out now on this channel talking about whether or not the Red Sox could possibly extend James Paxton. Game 2 saw Cutter Crawford, and he was really the only mediocre start in this series. He struggled a bit. He went 4 innings, allowed 4 earned runs on 5 hits, walked 3, and struck out 5. I think what really hurt Cutter in this series was his walk rate, right? Cutter's not normally a guy who walks a ton of batters. He walked 3 in just 4 innings, and that's really what led to a lot of runs here. If Cutter can cut down on his walks going forward, I still think he could be a pretty decent starting pitching for the Red Sox, but since his last 2 starts in this rotation, he hasn't looked really good. He looked pretty mediocre for the most part in his first 2 starts back. The finale saw Garrett Whitlock, and Garrett Whitlock was absolutely fantastic. Whitlock went 7 innings on just 92 pitches. He allowed 2 earned runs on 6 hits and struck out 7. That is 2 really great outings from Garrett Whitlock in a row. His changeup looks like it did back in 2021, and I think that's the biggest factor as to why he looks so good on the mound right now. He now has an above average ERA plus on the year at 1.04, and he's really settling into his starting role, which again, like we talked about with James Paxton, is huge for this Red Sox team. They needed either one of Houck or Whitlock to really step up and take the reins in a position in this rotation, and it looks like Whitlock is doing exactly that. Overall, in terms of starting pitching, I think for the most part, it's been really good over the last 2-3 series now, right? You're getting good starts from almost every single starter in this rotation. You just simply haven't been able to capitalize on it, and yet again, it was another series like that for the Red Sox. However, if the starting pitching can continue to keep doing this, it's going to be very, very good, especially if the offense can come back to life. As for the bullpen in this series, it was a bit rocky. Get it? Either way, Josh Winkowski had a bit of a rough couple outings in this series. He ended up giving up 2 earned runs. He didn't look as sharp as he normally does, but again, I'm not super worried about Josh. I think he'll settle back in and be fine going forward. Justin Garza had a rough outing, but he was kind of used in a spot that you normally wouldn't use Justin Garza, because for the second night in a row and 3 in a row, including the Yankee series, you guys went into extra innings, so I'm not entirely going to blame Justin Garza on that. Nick Pivetta had a bit of a rough outing where he allowed 3 walks in 1 singular outing, so Nick Pivetta not looking great out of the bullpen all of a sudden, which could be a bit of a problem here. But overall, I think the bullpen was fine, right? You had multiple opportunities to win these games and take this series, and you just couldn't capitalize on it, and that's not really the fault of the Red Sox bullpen. Overall, in terms of this series, you are so close to being able to fire on all cylinders, right? You're getting good starts from your starters. You're scoring runs on your offense. The real key that's missing for the Red Sox right now is being able to get those big hits. You're moving station to station, which is great. You just can't capitalize on it right now, and that's what the Red Sox need to do going forward, and that's what we saw in the last game of this series, which is why, in my opinion, you're starting to see signs of life on this Red Sox offense. You're starting to see them putting it together piece by piece. Justin Turner has been a serious constant in this Red Sox lineup. Masataka Yoshida, for the most part, has been constant, although he's been quiet lately. You're starting to get big games from Rafael Devers, which you needed desperately. Alex Verdugo continues to produce at the plate. He had a bit of a rough stretch. Looks like he's coming back to life a little bit, and those are sort of the key 4 in this Red Sox offense. If the Red Sox can get these guys going, this offense very well could come back to life, and that's exactly what you need going forward. Right now, the Red Sox are 6-8 on the month of June, so you're 2 games below 500, which makes perfect sense considering what their record is right now. The Red Sox have 14 games left in June. There is still time to turn this month around and come out of it with a fairly positive record. You just need to go something like 10-4 or 9-5. You need to be able to win much more than you're losing right now, and if you can get to that point, if you can get to the point where you come out of June in a positive way, there's still hope for this Red Sox team. It just all lives and dies on this Red Sox offense, and if they continue to be sort of not clutch like they've been over the last couple of series, it's going to be a big problem, right? It's going to be a big problem if this Red Sox offense offense can't come back to life, but in my opinion, what we saw in this Rockies series, they are getting closer and closer to being what they were at the beginning of this year. But that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think of this series? What did you think of the offense? What did you think of the defense? What did you think of the pitching? And what did you think about the Red Sox dropping 2 out of 3 to the Colorado Rockies? Let me know all your thoughts on the latest Red Sox series in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.